Today we're talking about changes that many people seem to be pretty angry about. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to talk about item specifics and the new requirements that keep popping up. A lot of people seem to be extremely angry that they have to put these in. Before we go any farther, those item specifics are not for you. They are for the buyer. They are there to help the buyer to be able to source down the items that they want in a relatively quick time before they lose interest in looking for items. It's something that most every other site does. So it's not for you. There's no reason for you to get mad because you have to do a couple little things to fix the issue. I don't see it as a big issue. This is thinking short-sighted. Now let's address two of the key issues and aspects of item specifics that most everybody doesn't seem to understand. Now, item specifics will allow you to not have to put something in the title. Instead, it will go in the item specific, but will still be searchable. So you will have more space in your title to add more keywords so you can get better views because of the multiple different keywords that you're using to target specific people. Now let's look at this from a buyer. Let's say I'm going to buy this t-shirt and I want to find it and buy it online. No matter what I'm going to do or what site I go to, I always search the same way. I use item specifics to narrow down the size of the shirt. I hate looking at shirts that they don't have in my size. So I literally use that for every single search I do. I don't care what the title says. A majority of people, when they're searching, are used to Amazon's way where you can narrow it down to a size or something along that line. And they expect that on most platforms. So eBay adding item specifics that are required into your listings is a good thing because you are limiting it if you don't have item specifics in some areas because most people will use that to narrow down the search for their items. It's just the way people search. As a buyer, I appreciate having the listings set up that way. Again, I'm not trying to defend eBay or anything in this aspect. I'm trying to get to the point of the matter. These item specifics is just such a small, inconsequential thing that you have to address to keep your business going. This kind of thing, again, is change, and it happens all the time. We have a video right up here you can take a look at talking about something that you should never ever do in a business if you want to be successful. And this goes right along with exactly what I say in that video. Don't be short-sighted with what you're looking at, what has to be done, and changes. When eBay first started, it took 3+ pages to do every single listing on the platform. Not only that, you had to put the code in, HTML code, for your images. You couldn't just upload an image anywhere. You had to have separate space for that. That's where it came from to where it's at now. Just like fixing them, eBay has it all set up so you can instantly know which ones need to be fixed. Just go to the hub and go to your items, your live items, and you will see a header down there at the bottom where you can click just one button and it will give you a list of every one that needs item specifics changed. You can do multiples at a time and all kinds of things, so it's really not much of an ordeal. Most of our stores have a ton of listings, so it only took a few minutes in each store. It's well worth the added boost. Again, it gives you more space in your title. Keywords are so specific and so important these days that you can get better sales just by having more keywords in your title. Now, one other aspect of this everybody complains about is once the item specifics are updated, they get less views on their listings, less views on their items. Now, first off, views don't mean anything to me. I never even look at views. I don't honestly look at watchers either, other than when I'm sending out an offer to a watcher. I just put the stuff up and forget about it. It's passive income once it's up. So to me, that doesn't matter. But of course, you are going to get less views if you change the item specifics, because before you were in a certain category, somebody would have searched down to the category through an item specific, and if you weren't marked as an item specific, they may have still had to look at your listing just to see if it was the right item. So views tend to go down a little bit, but that has no relation to sales whatsoever. All it means is that somebody didn't need to look at your listing because you've got the correct item specific for that item. It does work. It does help your sales, in my personal opinion. It frees up the space for all of those extra SEO keywords that you can put in your title. Keywords in some listings are incredibly huge and very important. If you're in a flooded category, and it's usually like clothing or something like that, categories that are heavy in item specifics, you can do far better by having the good keywords in the title that other people may not do. Like if I'm going to have to put an item specific, usually I won't use that in the title at all because it's still going to pull up when somebody searches for it because it is tied to an item specific. Just like if you type in large shirt, it's going to pull up ones that possibly say large in the title, or ones that are item specific to large shirts. So that'll allow them to narrow stuff down. Even Craigslist, you can narrow stuff down to a basic principle just like that. Most sites have that option. And I don't see it as all as something negative to us. I don't see what eBay has to gain other than helping you sell an item. Hence, they get more money from the commission, the revenue, the final value fees of the items that you sell. For the most part, eBay doesn't make a ton of extra money unless you sell something. That's the biggest chunk of what they make is from your final value fees right now. They have no other goal in my book other than to sell more stuff on the platform, to raise their status on the internet. It makes no sense for them to hurt you through adding something that's actually giving you more options and giving you more space to list the stuff on. Views mean nothing, so don't even consider that aspect of it if it happens. And again, I've heard people say that after every time they've forced item specifics on us. I don't worry. Who cares if I've got to add something else in? It's just part of the process of growing your business. Just like eBay adding item specifics for listings that didn't have item specifics, I'm glad for the most part because I can add those in, remove those words from the title, and still get the same bang for the buck, but have more opportunities to be seen by more people searching for more keywords. That just makes sense to me. It's the logic of it. You're worrying too much if this is bothering you about these little things. You should be worrying about selling stuff, not worried about having to click a L for large or hardbound for a book or whatever category you have to add item specifics to. It's nothing. It's some tiny minuscule thing that's going to affect your business for a few moments and you're done. Next week, you won't even be thinking about this after the mandated time has passed. And there's going to be another batch of these the next month and probably another one the month after that. This could go on for a year or two. Why are you letting it bother you and take time away mentally from your business? My business needs as much brain power into getting it going and running and advancing than anything else. So all that stuff is just pushed out of my head and off I go with advancing my business. I never let this stuff get to me. If you really want to be a reseller, honestly, sincerely want to be a reseller, you want to do this for a living, you want this to be your job 10 years from now, 20 years from now, this is nothing. It's just wasting your time on the wrong things. Use your energy, use your brain power to help your business. Getting upset, getting angry because you have to add a couple things is just not practical. It's just not a good business practice to do. It's going to hurt your business at some point, especially if every time something changes you get upset about it. It's just not worth your time. There's so much better things to think about. And again, it's not going to change anything. It's going to help the buyer find your item easier. It's not for us, it's to help the buyer. It's all for the buyer. One last thought too as well, this is something that helps the buyer to be able to search quicker. They have more time to search because it's easier to track down an item through item specifics than it is to search through thousands and thousands of listings. It's a time saver. It means they'll spend more time searching and hopefully will buy more items because they have more time to search. It'll be the most convenient site because they can just click a couple of buttons and get to right what they want to look for. That's what I enjoy about buying certain items on Amazon. I can click a few buttons in a category or something and get right exactly to the spot that I want very quickly. On eBay, it's not so quick, again, because there's so many listings without item specifics. This is a good thing. You're looking at it the wrong way. This, in the end, will help your business. Don't be looking at the views or anything like that because, again, views mean absolutely nothing for an item that you have up. 1,000 people could look at it because you got the wrong word in a title and nobody buys it. It means nothing. Only a buy, a sale means something to me. Watchers, again, can have some bearing if you're sending out offers to watchers. But those are the only watchers I ever even worry about or look at. And only because I'm sending out offers to them. Just change it and move on and be done with it. But anyway, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
folks, Smurfed again.
Thank goodness for